June 14, 1994 was one of the happiest days of Howard's life. He had waited his entire life for the team he loved to win a championship. Now, with his beloved New York Rangers one win away from their first Stanley Cup since 1940, Howard decided he had to be there in person to witness this momentous occasion. So with the Rangers ahead in the Stanley Cup final, 3-1, Howard traveled from San Diego to New York for what he hoped would be the clinching game. Of course, he shows up without a ticket, but manages to get in only to see the Rangers lose. So now it was off to Vancouver for Game 6. Once again, Howard shows up with a ticket, but he works his magic, and the Rangers lose again. So it's back to New York, another 3,000 miles for Game 7, and Howard shows up without a ticket. Somehow he managed to score a ticket for one of New York's hottest tickets in our lifetime, and we think a major credit card was involved. It was a tight game that went down to the final minutes. The Rangers won by a score of 3-2. The Stanley Cup was theirs. After traveling nearly 10,000 miles in 1 week, Howard was ecstatic and exhausted. Without a doubt, he told me, it was worth the trip. In high school, Howard, Ira Newman, and I shared what we believed was the greatest summer job ever. We were assistant caretakers on a large estate in Scarsdale. 3 suburban boys handling power tools and tractors. It was a reality version of the Green Acres TV show.
Or the Three Stooges.
We tore up a sidewalk with a plow. We sprayed plants in the greenhouse with poison instead of water. I think Ira even ran into a garage door after getting sprayed in the eyes with pesticide. But Howard somehow managed to stay out of harm's way. Our boss, a man named Mr. Fallis, was an understanding man. He used to say that we had a black cloud following us around. Fortunately for us, we got through it. A few years ago, when I got together with Howard in California, we got a chance to reminisce about that summer and enjoyed the laughs all over again. It truly was a blast. The one memory that stands out for me most about last year's sports fantasy camp in the Berkshires that Howard and some of us here attended was the soccer game. It took place on the first day before many of us got hurt. As I was running up the field with rain pouring down, I looked around at my teammates and saw the same guys I played with every day during our time together at Quaker Ridge. It was an incredibly exhilarating moment for me. The old magic was still there as the Quaker Ridge team scored with 2 minutes to go and beat the junior high team 3-2. An even bigger thrill for me and the others was that Howard was there with us. Howard was one of the lucky few who found his true calling in life. For more than 20 years, he was a math tutor in California. He was so much in demand that his schedule was often booked up for a year in advance. Instead of families interviewing him, he interviewed prospective students. It's hard to imagine Howard ever saying no to anyone. When Howard would arrive for a session, his opening line was always, "So what do we have here?" He made learning fun and did it with some unorthodox teaching techniques like the Jelly Belly Challenge, where students would be asked to put different flavors of Jelly Belly candy in their mouth and identify the flavors. The key to Howard's teaching was connecting with students on a personal level. He took a genuine interest in their lives, calling to see how they did on tests and showing up at their ball games. The relationships he established with students and their families were permanent, and that caring flowed both ways as they became his second family. He taught them, and he taught them well. Thank you.